Welcome back to another week of OACRL. Here this week we are at Silverstone. Same format as always. We've had 15 minutes of qualifying. We're jumping in right at the end, and then we'll have two 20-minute races here this evening. As we can currently see, it is wet. In our 30 minutes of practice we had earlier, it was also a little bit wet. Now, the weather here at Silverstone can be pretty bipolar, and that has been already pretty evident. And something to note is they're using a different pit to the different pit lane and start lane than F1 uses. F1's pit lane is around just past. You go through Vale and exit and skip clubs to go in, but this one you go into the pits just after Luffield. I'm not quite sure why. I haven't studied the pits. I didn't realise they were using the second pit lane until, well, obviously I loaded into the lobby a while ago. As we've got less than 30 seconds left of qualifying, we will see if anyone else can top the timing table here. We have currently only 4 races at the moment. Some may join, some may not. Hopefully none of them leave, because I've found the fewer the drivers, the less action you can get, but also it could be completely different. As now qualifying is done and dusted, as we wait for them to come around the final few or finish their laps or finish the laps and go back to the carriage, as we do see Noah Huni go down Hamilton straight here. Now, down through Farm Curve and heading... It resets to that garage. You do have Friedbert and Noah Huni now coming into Abbey and then Farm Curve. As we do now wait for them to finish their laps, as they're both heading down Wellington Straight. At the end of Wellington Straight, they will now go into Brooklands, then around Luffield. The session has ended here this evening, so that is qualifying all done and dusted, as we see Noah sort of slide and spin out. And it looks like it is going to be a wet first race here this evening. And it looks like the rain will be here for quite a while.
10 seconds.
As we now wait for that all-important start. As we see Noah Friedbert and Noah Huni kind of stuck there, as Friedbert finally gets away. Racing, I think they have to cross the line in order as well, so that's why Noah Huni did wait. But now they have been given the green light, and we are away and racing here as we go with Lord Bill as... There we go. We have got this back up. See Lord Bill having a nice start now, heading through Maggots and Beckett's. No uni is in first. Now heading down Hanger Straight. For now, they seem to have got a relatively nice and clean start, keeping it within the track while it's wet as well, so that would throw another ring in the circle. As we're now coming down, that they've just come through clubs, I believe, and now they would be coming down Hamilton Straight, going into Abbey, which leads directly into Farm Curve. As Lord Bill is now comfortably in the lead, and the drivers are now settling out, sort of split into two sort of mini groups, with Lord Bill and Noah, then Friedberg and Noah Huney. As we now will just watch the cars go around a few laps here. Not a lot of battling going on, but there's also very few cars to obviously have that battle with. Now, I have got some yapping about Silverstone I will yap with, but it is more based on F1, not sort of ACC. Silverstone is one of the most iconic racing circuits in the world, and is the historic home of the British Grand Prix. It was also built on a former World War II airfield, and it hosted the very first Formula One World Championship race in 1950. Cementing its place at the heart of motorsport history. Over the decades, the circuit has evolved from a simple high-speed layout into a modern classic, while still retaining its reputation as one of the fastest tracks on the calendar. This long history and constant development have helped shape it into the circuit that blends old-school flow with modern racing demands, making it a favourite for both drivers and fans. I know some racers have a very, very strong opinion here at Silverstone, but it is one of my home tracks, with the other being Albert Park Circuit, which is the home of the Australian F1 Grand Prix. As we do have the drivers kind of spread out, with Noah and Lord Bill being the two closest together, with the others lagging slightly behind. The current layout is, I think, 5.891 kilometers long and features 18 corners, combining straights with some of the most famous high-speed sequences in racing. Sections like Maggots and Beckett's and Chapel form a rapid change of direction that attests a car's balance, aerodynamics, and the driver confidence all at once, as it flicks cars left and right at extremely high speeds with very little margin for error. Corpse Corner is another standout, taken at extremely high speeds and often flat out in modern machinery, making it one of the most committed corners on the calendar. Average lap speeds, I think... never mind. I think that is more F1. Oh no. Average lap speeds are typically around 230 to 40 kilometers per hour, reflecting on how little time is spent at the lowest speeds, compared to most other circuits. Now that fact could be for F1 or these cars, I am not quite sure. And that is all from that, because the rest is more about F1. The rest of that yapping is aimed about, but I had a little bit of information there for you. As it looks like Friedbert has caught up slightly to the back of Noah there, as Lord Bell is just currently running away with it, pulling a gap, with now the closest battle being Friedbert and Noah, both teammates here. We've got a Mercedes AMG, we've got two Ferraris and a Ford out on the field this evening. And that is still the closest lap, as we will take a look at a few of the stats, with currently Lord Bill out on his third lap. Does hold the fastest lap of the race for now, with 2 minutes 13.087 around the circuit, now going through clubs to get ready to go down Hamilton Straight. Of a little bit of action, bit of bumping, and a big spin there from Noah. The wet track would not have helped him there at all, as now Friedbert and Noah have it spread out a bit due to that spin. And maybe Noah has caught up maybe slightly there to Friedbert at the earliest stage of the race. As now all the drivers are slowly settling out as we do reach the halfway point here this evening in race 1 out of 2. We've seen a little bit of action here, but not much, as there aren't very many cars out on the field. As we will now we will watch Noah Uni for a bit as he now comes through left field, ready to complete his 5th lap of racing. Now, the circuit is a longer circuit, so perhaps we will get about, I want to say, 9. We will see perhaps, I want to say, 7 to 9 laps of racing here around this Silverstone circuit. As we now watch those Noah Uni come around in, now heading into clubs, just gone through Vale, keeping it nice within the lines here this evening. Now heading up Hamilton Straight. As we now coming through and heading down on to Wellington Straight. And now coming into Luffields. As now he's making his way through that corpse corner, getting ready to head down. Oh, a bit of a slide there on the exit, does go into the grass before heading into Maggots and Beckett's. Now getting ready to head back through clubs as Lord Bill is still comfortably leading, but it looks like Fried Burt has got the fastest lap of the race so far with 2 minutes 12.987. The car's getting a little bit dirty. Looks like the rain is not clearing up anytime soon. So I wonder if we will see a change in weather for race 2, or it will still stay a wet track for race 2. Fradbert does go a bit wide through Luffields there. A bit slippy and slidey there from Fradbert as he will try and close the gap to Lord Bill to the best of his abilities here this evening. As we do see Noah go very wide and into the grass. Now coming back to get ready to go through Mackett's and Beckett's, although it didn't look like he sustained any damage there from that little slip and that little slide. When it looks like Noah going a bit wide again there on the exit of clubs, as Noah Huni has now significantly caught up the gap between those two cars. And it looks like Fradbert went a bit wide there going through Wellington straight. So we do have Fradbert still coming around, still does have that faster slap as we reach the final few minutes of race 1. As we now watch. So we will get about, I want to say, perhaps maybe 9 to 10 laps of racing, depending on where Lord Bill. Yeah, so Lord Bill will get, I think, roughly 10 laps of racing here done this evening in race 1. As Lord Bill will, or may not, won't make it across the line in time here. So he will do 9 laps of racing, or this will be his final lap. We will wait and see what the game says. And Lord Bill has finished, followed by Fradbert in red flag. Not quite sure what that one was about. Friedberg goes in there as Noah Huni and Noah battle it out for those last two positions, and it looks like Noah Huni will cross the line first. Oh, and Arcee Noah slides a bit and crosses the line backwards, I believe, and that session has ended here this evening as we wait for race 2. It looks like it is raining again. It looks like we will have another wet race.
Seconds.
As we now wait for them to cross that line and get the green flag and start racing here in race 2.
Green light, give it all you can.
And they have been given the green light and they are away and racing in race 2 here. Another wet one, so it's been wet all through this weekend so far. So I believe this is next week. It is an endurance round. I'm not quite sure of the tracks there yet, but we will have a longer racing next week. Oh, and it looks like we have had some contact there between, I think it was Pride of Bird and Noah Huni at the very early stages here on lap 1. And it looks like Lord Bill has had a nice clean start yet again, with Lord Bill and Noah being very close together. As we watch Noah try and catch up to Lord Bill. So it looks like Lord Bill has had a very nice first few races so far, keeping it very nicely within the tracks. as we watch Lord Bill coming around clubs, has the fastest lap of the race so far with a 1:23.875, but that of course was set on the first lap of racing here. So we'll see what happens now as he is heading through Farm Curve. As Noah Uni is now right up back of Lord Mill, is thinking about making a move, makes a lunge down the inside, a little bit of side-by-side action here as Noah Uni gets the move done for now, but can he make it stick? We will find out. As Noah has run away from Lord Bill at the moment, as they are the closest two drivers together here at Silverstone, with the fastest lap going to Noah with a 2 minutes 15.350. with all three, the top three sort of being a group, with Nohini who had that spin a bit earlier, lagging up behind everyone else here this evening.
We are halfway through. Keep it up.
As we do watch Lord Bill now, we have now crossed the halfway point in race 2, so we will, as 3 are relatively close together, very different from what we saw in race 1, a few slips, a few spills, Nohini lagging behind the rest of the pack. As the rain is still coming down quite heavy here for the time being. The drivers aren't doing too much here this evening. as Noah Uni has the fastest lap with a 1:14.232 as we watch him come through Luffields to get ready to start his 7th lap here around Silverstone with only a handful of laps left. And Lord Bill trying to be an ever-present threat to Noah, as Noah does slide out and hits that wall, which allows Lord Bill the chance to regain that lead. That's something Noah would not have liked at this stage, as Friedberg now also has the opportunity to catch up. I'm not quite sure. Whoa, what is Noah doing? That car had a little bit of a moment there as he cut straight through Maggots and Beckett's here. As now we are seeing a little bit of action in the later stages of this raid, with Friedberg and Noah kind of going at it here this evening, as we have got about less than 5 minutes of racing to go here. As we still have Noah and Friedberg very close to each other, as Lord Bill has now kind of run away here after having had that opportunity to overtake earlier on. So we now have less than 3 minutes to go here this evening. So we do have Friedberg and Noah going at it for the lead of this race quite late on. So Friedberg tries to maybe perhaps go round the outside of Luffields, goes a bit wide on that exit and does not make that move stick here, as spins and collects Noah. So that is probably the chance of definitely P1 gone and out the window, as Noah now is in front, as the leader is now on the final lap here this evening. As we do have still those two Ferraris very close to each other. No unit back there, and Lordville very comfortably now not in the lead. Apparently Noah is in the lead. Am I missing something? Well, Lord Friedbert has the fastest lap with a 1:13.372. I'm not quite sure what is going on here. I think I could have missed something earlier on, but it says Noah here is in P1 as he goes through clubs and gets ready to go down Hamilton Straight.
Finished the race.
And that is the race done and dusted, with Friedbert taking the win here this evening as we wait for the rest of the cars to come across the line. As I think we are now just waiting for Noah Huney, who's coming through Luffields, through Brooklands, and getting ready to finish the second race. And that is the session all done here this evening with race 2, with Friedbert winning race 2. That will wrap it up for this week. See you next time for an endurance round.